I couldn't stop worrying after I saw the news. It reported that the plane my husband was on for a business trip abroad had crashed. I tried calling him, but the call wouldn't go through. Then, out of nowhere, I received a casual message from him saying, "Just got here." I felt so relieved, but that relief didn't last. Soon after, the news announced that there were no survivors from the crash. My mind was racing. What did this mean? Wasn't his plane safe? My name is Ella. I live with my husband, Caden, who I've been married to for 5 years, and our daughter, Mila, who's almost 3. I quit my job when I got pregnant, and now I'm a stay-at-home mom. Mila's terrible twos phase has passed, and lately, she's been helping me more. While it was tough before, I'm now happily raising her without stress. But things with Caden have been different lately. He's been so busy with work that he often only comes home to sleep. Sometimes, I even notice a woman's perfume scent on him, probably from entertaining clients. He works weekends and stays late, leaving little time to spend with Mila. "Papa, don't you like me anymore?" Mila asked once, her voice quiet. I hugged her tightly and stroked her hair. "Of course he does. He's just very busy so we can live comfortably," I reassured her. Caden promised to celebrate Mila's birthday with us this Sunday, so I told her we'd have a great time together then. We plan to invite my in-laws for Mila's birthday next month. They live just 15 minutes away, so we see them often, and Mila is very close to them. Caden's younger sister, Camilla, also lives nearby with her 2 children. My in-laws treat all their grandchildren equally, and I'm grateful they love Mila without favoritism. Then, one day, Caden told me, "I have a business trip abroad for 2 weeks, starting on the 8th next month." Surprised, I asked, "Wait, a trip abroad starting on the 8th? But Mila's birthday is on the 10th. We promised to celebrate together. I told her you would be there." I felt hurt and angry thinking about Mila's disappointment. "I don't have a choice, Ella, it's work," Caden replied. "If I could, I'd want to be there to celebrate too." Seeing the struggle on his face, I realized that this wasn't easy for him either. "I'm sorry," I said. "You're right. I just got a bit upset. I feel bad for Mila." Caden patted my shoulder and replied, "I'll get a gift for her. Let me know what she wants. Your parents will be there, so she won't feel alone. And I promise we'll celebrate together next year, okay?" "You better," I emphasized, deciding to let it go for now. Although I worried about Mila, I was determined to make her birthday special. I'd decorate the house and cook so she wouldn't feel lonely without her dad. I asked my in-laws if they could stay over for Mila's birthday. They understood that Caden was on a business trip and immediately offered to help. "Leave it to us," my mother-in-law said cheerfully. "Your father-in-law is already preparing to stay over." Her words lifted my spirits, making me feel a bit better about the celebration. The next day, I gently explained Caden's trip to Mila. As expected, she looked sad and teared up, but I added, "Grandpa and Grandma will stay over for your birthday." Hearing this, Mila's face brightened a little, and I was relieved to see her smile. The day after Caden left, my mother-in-law called. "Ella, do you need anything for tomorrow? We've prepared a present and reserved a cake. Is there anything else you need help with?" I felt so grateful and thanked her right away. "Thank you so much. We already bought the decorations and Mila's gift, so we're set. But thank you for the cake and the present." "No problem. We loved picking them out. Your father-in-law has been excited all week." Her words made me smile. I felt so lucky to have such caring in-laws. Even without Caden, tomorrow was going to be a fun day for Mila. After a while, my mother-in-law changed the subject. "By the way, has Caden arrived yet? He said he'd be taking a smaller plane to his final destination after landing. I hadn't heard from him since he left, so I figured his flight might be delayed." I made a mental note to check his flight number right after our conversation. Just then, I had a sudden thought. Was Caden's business trip really to America? I sensed something strange in my mother-in-law's suddenly trembling voice. "Yes, Caden went to America." "Why? What's wrong?" "Turn on the TV right now. They're reporting on a plane crash in America." I quickly turned on the TV, and there it was, an emergency news report about a plane crash. In shock, I dropped my phone. My mother-in-law's scream pulled me back, and I scrambled to pick it up again. "Ella, calm down. We don't know for sure if it's Caden's plane," she said, trying to reassure me. But even as I said, "You're right," my heart was racing, filled with fear. What would I do if something had happened to him? Then the news anchor mentioned the name of the aircraft. It was the same as Caden's flight. "Mother-in-law, this is Caden's plane. What are we going to do?" I whispered, the terrible reality sinking in. My knees gave way, and I collapsed to the floor. my mouth dry and tears streaming down my face. Ella, my mother-in-law's loud voice snapped me back. Stay strong. We don't know for sure what happened to Caden yet. Okay? Try calling him. I'm coming over right now, so just stay calm. Understood? Yes, I replied, still in shock. After hanging up, I dialed Caden's number, but the phone just rang with no answer. No, this can't be happening, I thought, my heart pounding. Why wasn't he answering? Desperate, I sent him a text. Are you okay? I gripped my phone tightly, staring at the screen. Suddenly, a message came through from Caden. Just arrived. Relief washed over me, and I burst into tears. Thank goodness, I whispered, overwhelmed with gratitude. But then I heard more words from the TV. There are no survivors. No survivors? What did that mean? It was supposed to be Caden's plane. I froze, unable to reply to his text, and tried calling him again, but there was no answer. I got a text from Caden saying, I just arrived at the airport and need to pick up my luggage. I couldn't believe how indifferent he sounded. After everything, how could he not care about my feelings? My anxiety and anger mixed together, and I couldn't help but feel irritated. The news had just reported a plane crash, and I was so worried. Please, just answer the phone for a moment, I begged him. Show me your face on a video call. But all I got was another cold text. I'm fine. I'll call you later. I need to go now. I was relieved to know he was okay, but his lack of concern chilled me. Even after I sent him more messages, he didn't reply. Then I got a call from my mother-in-law. Before coming over, she had contacted Caden's company, only to be told that he was on a long-term vacation and not on a business trip abroad. This didn't make sense at all. The business trip was a lie from the start. I suddenly realized everything. Caden had been lying to me for so long. I'd never felt so much hatred for him before. I decided to tell my mother-in-law everything, how Caden rarely came home, showed no interest in his family, and even came back smelling like women's perfume. I hadn't wanted to suspect him of cheating just because of the perfume, but now it all added up. The business trip was just a cover-up for his affair. My mother-in-law was furious. That stupid son of mine. We were the fools for worrying about him, she said. Ella, come stay with us. It must be tough for you and Mila to be alone. I agreed, and after moving in with my in-laws, they apologized for not noticing the truth sooner. Even my sister-in-law came over to support me, and I felt the warmth and kindness of my in-laws. But even with everyone being so kind, I couldn't stop thinking about Caden. I hired a private detective to gather proof of his cheating, and soon I received a photo of him at the airport with his affair partner. I couldn't believe it. Caden really had been cheating on me. 2 weeks later, Caden called. Hello, where are you? I just got back from my business trip and I can't open the door. Can you come unlock it for me? His voice was so indifferent, like nothing had happened. I couldn't believe his attitude. Even if I came, I couldn't open the door. I don't have the key anymore, and the old one should have been replaced by now. What do you mean, replaced? Caden asked, confused. I could tell from his voice that he thought I hadn't noticed anything, but I was done pretending. I decided to move out. I couldn't stay with a cheating man who prioritized a trip over our daughter's birthday. What are you talking about? Caden asked, trying to act clueless. My anger boiled over. Do you think I don't know? I know everything. You took a long-term vacation and went to Europe, not America. Calm down, Ella. There must be some mistake. Caden tried to explain. Don't fool me, I snapped. I know you've been cheating, saying you had to work overtime and go on business trips on weekends. I couldn't hold back anymore. I raised my voice, although my head was spinning. I'm divorcing you. I'll make sure you pay alimony and child support. Caden screamed. Wait, please, what are you talking about? He sounded hesitant. I'm sorry, I did cheat on you, but it was just for fun. The one I truly love is you, Ella. His words made me sick. I responded coldly. Nice acting, but there's no way I'll believe someone who chose a cheating trip over our daughter's birthday. Did you think I'd forgive you if you said it was just for fun? I will never forgive you or your affair partner. Then Caden's tone changed. I'm the only one apologizing here. Who do you think you have to thank for the life you have now? You'd be struggling if we divorced. Stop making a big deal out of just cheating and a birthday. It's so annoying. Just then, my sister-in-law Camilla grabbed the phone. There's no way Ella should be with someone who doesn't even care about his own daughter's birthday, she said firmly. Caden was surprised, but the surprises didn't stop there. I'm here too, my mother-in-law said, joining the conversation. And Dad too. They all revealed the truth. We knew you couldn't come home. so we all waited for you. Your sister's husband is taking care of Mila," my father-in-law shouted. "You're no longer a son to us, don't ever come to our house again." My mother-in-law and Camilla continued, "Your things are in our shed, come get them by tomorrow, or we'll throw them out." "Big brother, you betrayed Ella, you're filthy." "The worst," Camilla added. Caden's voice trembled as he tried to apologize. "Wait, I was wrong. It was just a moment of weakness. I'm sorry, please don't say things like that." But no one was willing to forgive him. I yelled, "It's unbearable to be cheated on over a moment of weakness. You've been cheating for a long time, and you're still lying. How much more do you need to make fun of me?" "Stop it, cheater. If you don't agree to the divorce, I'll take you to court," I shouted. Caden panicked. "Please, no court," he begged, agreeing to the divorce immediately. The next day, Caden showed up at my in-laws' house, groveling on the doorstep, but the family only gave him cold stares. Unable to take it anymore, he left with only a few of his things. After that, I filed a claim for damages against him, and once his affair was exposed, his mistress dumped him immediately. I broke up with him, and even though his mistress begged for forgiveness, I was firm about pursuing the damages. She ended up with a lot of debt and, reportedly, started working in the night industry to pay it off. When the affair became public at his company, Caden couldn't handle the judgment and chose to resign. However, he still has to pay for the damages and child support. I've heard he's now working non-stop, from morning to night, with no time for himself. As for me, I'm still living with my in-laws. They've continued to treat Mila and me with kindness, just like before. I'm determined to do my best to repay them for everything they've done for us.